Transfuser. Congratulations, translators. We made a game. To make this, we need a wiring kit, battery, and titanium. So, a lot of you may already know what this tool is, but a lot of you may also not know what the tool is, or why it's not in the full release of Subnautica. We can't even build this thing in our station. I don't know if that means we can build it somewhere else. I'll give it a try, just to see. So no, it is not available in this section right here, or in the fabricator, unfortunately, even after using the Bob the Builder cheat, which gives you everything. So what the hell is a transfuser? Well, my friends, if I do item transfuser, it's an actual item in the game. It's not accessible though. You can't get this yet. And we're gonna get into that in just a moment. Now this tool, is used to get DNA from life forms in Subnautica. Now, why would I want DNA from a life form in Subnautica? For instance, maybe a gasopod, I want its DNA. Or maybe a peeper, or, I don't know, a moon ray or something, or whatever that, the dick snout, for instance. Why would I want its DNA? Well, DNA from these creatures have characteristics and properties that would change either A, one of your creatures you had in captivity that you raised, or B, use it on yourself and gain special abilities. Now, what does that mean if you inject Reaper Leviathan DNA into you? Well, hang on, I'm gonna grab this guy right here because I know it doesn't work with the gasopods right now. It doesn't want to work or collect its DNA. However, I do know this ghost ray, or not ghost ray, whatever the hell you call this thing, it does. Let me just see, give me a sample of your DNA. Right there. We got a sample of its DNA. So more or less, you can see now on the bottom of the screen, LMG, I assume that's left mouse, whatever. What about a dick snout? Oh, yes, we can inject sonar. So then that would be like the sea moth and its sonar ability. And then what else could we do? Maybe like a bladder, a peeper? Can we do peepers? What would a peeper do? Nothing. Can't get a peep. Oh, wait. Inject speed. Oh, so that would give you speed. And then what about, I assume the bladderfish then, this thing over here would give you oxygen or something. Air bladder. Okay, and then you can hold E to put it into yourself, but it doesn't do anything right now for me because it's not actually coded. I can't inject speed, I can't inject sonar, and I can't inject friendliness. So that kind of sucks in a way, but what do you do once you get these things? Well, you'd have to use a centrifuge, I think it's called, to actually mix the DNA together and make it into a viable source of something that you could use. Now, what would happen if we injected ourselves with Reaper Leviathan DNA, which we can't use it right now. I've already tried. But what would happen if we tried to take DNA from a Reaper Leviathan and put it into us? Well, some people speculate that it would actually change our physical features and make us look different. So more or less, we would effectively get the traits of a Reaper Leviathan and become this alien creature and survive as an alien in Subnautica. While others believe that it would change your stats and make you maybe more durable in combat, maybe harden your skin, maybe do some things. Now, these effects are temporary. I have a spreadsheet I'm going to go over with you guys in a second. And unfortunately, I also cannot make the centrifuge, or whatever it's called. I can spawn it in, like that. It just went through the wall, though. Right there, I can spawn it in, but I can't actually use it. What would happen is I'd take the DNA you see in the far right of my hand, whatever, and I would put that little capsule into this thing. The door would go down basically, and it would shake it around. I have a video I can show you guys of this anyways. It's actually kind of cool, and I wish it was something that was put into the primary game. You can see in right here, you see the DNA capsules actually. And these, it reminds me of the show Helix. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not. Let me know in the comment section. I've been watching that like crazy. It's such an addictive show, but you can see the DNA capsules in there, and more or less they would be used as the mechanism of delivery. Now you could probably let's say we want a dick snout and we've had its egg. Well, we could inject the egg with friendliness, for instance. Throw the egg into the aquarium, it would hatch, bring it out here, put it into the wild, and then it would be friendly permanently. It would no longer attack you ever. It would only attack whatever was out around, probably. Or maybe air bladder, for instance. Inject us into it, and we have more oxygen ability. And I think you can inject yourself up to 4 times or something like that. Now, you can inject speed into some creatures, too. That would obviously make them speed up faster in water. There's actually a hilarious one with the gasopod when you can extract its DNA. And then sonar, obviously, as well, into yourself. which I can't do right now, would give you sonar ability. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play some videos of how the centrifuge actually works, how it mixes the DNA, and then we're going to go through all the different effects that this would have had. And by the way, it is said on the wiki, this is probably going to be a DLC feature. So therefore, we have access to something that might be put into the DLC early. It's just not completely operational. Anyways, I'm gonna just go ahead and play the video.
New blueprint acquired.
So I went ahead and I gave myself a reefback DNA sample, and, well, to my surprise, it actually comes out into the world and doesn't crash my game. Now, on top of that, I'm going to give myself a scanner real quick, or did I already have one? No, I didn't. So, I'm going to see if I can scan this. No, I can't scan it, but you guys saw in the video, this is basically what you would put in the centrifuge, which was this thing right here, and it would shake it up, do all of its fancy stuff, you know, and right here, bam, you can see all the DNA vials in there. And then it will give you a serum that you could use in your hoobity wadi. You could also, hang on, I'm wondering if I can use the propulsion cannon. Will you have the effect? No, you will. Oh, bye. Okay, so I was hoping that would actually do something, but it didn't. Now, the transfuser's right here. You would obviously load it up into the transfuser, one of these green vials, and you would have your reefback DNA, which then you would effectively use for other things. Now, I can't actually change it out. It doesn't let me, unfortunately. There's nothing I can do. There's no way to interact with this. By the way, you could spawn this in with item centrifuge or spawn centrifuge, but if you do, you can't delete this from your world. You can't deconstruct it. It doesn't, there's nothing you can do to remove this thing from your world. So don't save if you spawn this thing in. I know it looks cool and flashy, but it is literally useless. Not only that, you can walk through it, and it kind of destroys your immersion, I guess, in a way. So you're getting fair warning now. It's a bad time. It's a really bad time. Now, something else I want to go over with you guys real quick with the centrifuge is the vials. They can actually be used, like I think I've already covered. No, I'm about to actually. You can actually use the propulsion cannon, grab them, and then shoot them away at like groups of people or groups of monsters, in this case, sea monsters, and put the effects of whatever was in the vial onto them, which is an added bonus. Now, I'm wondering if I use this. Let me just see. Let me bring this guy into 2. So, grab the peeper. There we go. So, it would be an easier way, I guess, to use this, and inject into self. Can't do that, obviously. Can I inject into other creatures, though? I'm wondering if I could give this guy the trait. No, I can't. Kind of sucks. All right, I want to move into some other things, so just bear with me. So I moved over to the Subnautica wiki so we can check out the transfuser tool even more in detail. Now, as far as this thing goes, it is intended to sample DNA from life forms in the future. It must be scanned, and this article obviously is subject to changes and stuff because it's not implemented in the version of 1.0, and information is... My dog is barking. Information is limited, as I said. So... it uses energy, and it can be recharged with a battery, obviously. It is obtained with a command in your game. Use item transfuser, basically, to bring this thing into the game and mess around with it, but it's not completely functional right now. Now, it's used to take DNA samples from creatures possessing transferable DNA, transfusible DNA. Inject the DNA into a creature using left mouse button. Hold E to inject the DNA into yourself. Each injection increases said value by 25%. And as you guys saw previously in the other video, you get 4 samples that you can use to inject into yourself or other creatures. You can inject one creature or yourself up to 4 times. Each sample uses 5% of the energy in the battery of the transfuser. Refer to the table on DNA page for sample types and locations, which I will play a video in just a second showing you guys what that's about. And we have the transfuser currently is not able to inject into the player because the button to do so is shared with the command to remove the item. Now, I did use the keybind feature to remove the keybind for E, removing the object, and it doesn't work. It just will not transfuse with you. It doesn't do anything at all. Now, we have the DNA serums right here, which these are all the different types of serums that you can get more or less in your inventory. Now, I actually haven't gone through these. You can see the different effects of the transfuser as well. I have no idea what these iterations of it are. I guess these are like what they wanted, and then what they came up with in the end was this thing right here, which it looks way more Subnautica-like to me, like that image there. And we have potentially what a fragment of this thing would look like as well, and then the fully refurbished model that you could use. Now, there is a DNA sample page, but I'm going to go over and show you guys this real quick for all of the different DNA samples. Now, these are older versions of Subnautica, so things look a little bit different, but you can see stickiness, speed, grow, which I assume you could inject into an egg to give it, I don't know, an instant growth effect, light sensitivity, sonar, shell, air bladder friendliness, inertialess, heat resist, jumper, glow, and regen. All of these different effects would have been things you could have put into creatures or yourself, and I'm not sure, but I'm betting you could change their physical appearance to a degree, possibly. So then here is more or less what the effects would do. There is no known outcome for the whole fish boomerang, extra damage backwards, away from current, yada yada yada. When it sees aggressive fauna in front of it, it swims by quickly, cutting target for damage but for blood. The peeper, it checks out shiny things, extra speed. This one will follow player with Gary Fish. So if you use Gary Fish DNA on a, I don't know, a dick snout, a stalker, and then you use a friendliness rabbit ray DNA sample on it as well, then you would have a friendly stalker that would follow you around everywhere and possibly keep you safe. Now, bleeders are attracted to large creatures. Regeneration from the Reginald, that thing right there, basically, more or less. The shuttle bug will swim around fallen loot, collect your fallen loot. Swim around metal with the stalker, aggressive for blood, attracted to blood, attacks other aggressive fauna and medium fish. If in danger, creates a gas cloud. Now, it's actually said in their Trello, which I'm going to bring up right here. So we have the gasopod DNA, and it creates a serum called fart gas, and it creates a stinky acid cloud behind you. And the idea behind this is the player carpet bombs creatures that won't leave him alone, player farting nonstop, creatures fleeing the area. That would be an effect you would have gotten if you had injected yourself with gasopod DNA. To me, I'm very childish, but I love that idea. I think that's absolutely hilarious. Now, we have a bunch of other ones here. Regenerate damage, yada yada. Find your lost Seamoth, sub, or metal. So, I mean, these are just different effects that you would have gotten. Now, I'm going to move back to this, to the II, and then you swim away from danger, obviously, yada, yada, yada. Sand sharks move towards vibrations when underground, attracted to motion, more or less. So you could maybe have like a stalker injected with that too, and it'll be attracted to motion as well. Mesmers, that would be cool. It would confuse predators. I'm just wondering if that would work on a sea dragon or not. And then the Jelly Ray, big light source, bioluminescence. Now, if you inject yourself with this, maybe you would become more bioluminescent. You'd grow boils or become a little bit transfused or translucent, and you'd have your own bioluminescence chemical compound in you that would make you glow, which would make you very tasty looking to everything else in the ocean. Yeah, that's a thing apparently. But yeah, that's basically all of the effects that you could have gotten if they had implemented this tool. I can't find the section where they say it was going to be in a DLC or something about a DLC, but I guarantee you I did see it. I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't see it written down somewhere on this wiki. However, everything is subject to change on the wiki, just so you know, and it may not even make it to the game. I don't know. It just seems like they've done a lot of work to scrap this project. So this is actually a picture of the Kubity-Wadi thingy, the transfuser. And then you have a description for all of the stuff that's down here. So all creatures have extractable DNA. This DNA can be sampled by getting close to a creature and using the transfuser. DNA can be crafted into a serum at the centrifuge. Serums affect living things on contact and can affect the player or creature in a few ways. The player can apply to their own skin, which gives them the ability to, for about a minute, which obviously that would be more of like if you wanted the better sight in the middle of night or something like that in the ocean. They can be loaded into the propulsion cannon and launched towards launch through the water, and when it hits something, it creates a cloud that lasts for 10 seconds, which will affect any player or creature that touches it for 20 seconds. Now, keep in mind, this section here will affect any player. This was back when they were playing it with the idea of multiplayer, I assume. This is back when they were thinking of it. Yeah, see, 2015 is when they were talking about this, when Subnautica, they thought they might try and make it into a multiplayer game. So that's obsolete now. Or any creature it touches for 20 seconds. They can also be injected into a creature egg. When that egg hatches, that creature now has that DNA effect permanently. For example, a reefback serum might cause immediate growth. A jelly ray serum causes glowing. A bone shark serum might give it carapace, damage resistance, and an oculus serum might give light sensitivity, which allows you to see in the dark. DNA samples could also be used to research ingredients or for crafting in general. And the guidelines, obviously, rabbit ray size or smaller can't really damage you, heal you, or anything. Can be used for DNA sample. Not enough mass for DNA sample would come up when you try to use a transfuser on a minor creature, so we can skip creating effects for things like small fish creatures, yada yada yada. The last piece of tech we have to cover, which is the centrifuge. It is planned for future builds of Subnautica. It can be seen on a tech chart image for the developer's Trello page, which clicky click. Let me see what they have to say for this thing. Oh, it's just up right here, more or less. And then, okay, yeah, submarine tech, and then the centrifuge is there, and then tools, the transfuser is right there as well. Okay, and then I don't really see much more that they've done. Whoa, okay, this goes way down into detail with this. Upgrade console. This was when they were making everything, too. Okay, that makes sense. So that's over and done with. Now, this thing will be constructed with a habitat builder, and it is used to turn DNA samples collected into serums, transfuser serums, and that DNA is basically extracted what you really want. And then they have a gallery of different stuff. A video right here, but being used? Okay, yeah. Just opening and then spinning. You guys already saw that in the earlier portion of this video. Wait, did it have something else to play too? No, it didn't. All right. What about this? Experimental one. Okay, you guys have already seen this as well. And then that's basically it. Yeah. Okay. All right, Sea Emperor, come here. I want a sample of your DNA. I want to see if you have DNA. Yes, Sea Dragon, you're next. I'll poke you next. Nope. I can't take DNA from it yet. I'm kind of curious. I want to know what the Sea Emperor's DNA would give you. Would it give you telepathy or maybe harder armor? Maybe you would learn blueprints easier? That makes sense. Sea Emperor is really smart. I feel like that could be a possible thing. Sea Dragon's under the map. Oh, wait. No. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's under the map. Never mind. I thought he was there, but he's not. Hey, Sea Dragon. Sea Dragon, come here. I need you. As for the Sea Dragon, I feel like the Sea Dragon would provide you with heat resistance. If you could even get close to this thing, who the hell would want to try and come here and stab this thing with a needle for a DNA sample? You'd have to be crazy. Come here. Come here. No, come here. I want to try and get a sample of your eyelid, your top eyelid in particular. It's looking quite succulent. Good. It's getting kind of weird, actually. Whoa, that one got out. Okay, come here. Can I do a thingy with you? No? Won't let me? Come here. So I don't think I can get it. I'm wondering, what do you guys think the DNA sample would be? What do you guys think the DNA sample would be if I was able to get a sample from the Sea Emperor or the Sea Dragon? I think it'd be incredible. I'd probably get some really crazy potent sample that would be very valuable to have. Come here. Come on. Don't do this to me. Come here. You know, you want to... Nope, it's not letting me get a sample. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like I can get a sample from these guys at all. Nothing at all. It doesn't let me. It kind of sucks, and it seems like it bugs out things too sometimes. Yeah, look at that. It's weird. Can't get anything of its underbelly. It makes sense, though, because its hide is probably so thick anyways, you'd never be able to pierce it with a needle. I wouldn't say you could. You'd have to use some crazy force to get that. Hey, little guy. Let me get your teeth. Just gonna clean your teeth. Come on. Yeah. You can't hurt me. I'm creative. I can't get anything at all. Can't even get a sample of spit. Damn, that sucks. Oh well, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section about this whole transfuser idea and the centrifuge and all that stuff. Sounds like a cool idea. We'll have to wait for the DLC, I guess, to see if it becomes a thing or not. Come here. Come here. Just Carry me with you. Carry me. Or not. All right, whatever. Yeah, guys, I want to hear back from you. I want to know what you think about the idea of mutating DNA in creatures and having this as a feature. Come on, you gonna eat me at least? No, I don't taste good? No? Not even interested in me at all in the slightest. All right, whatever. I like the idea of mutating them. I hope that you can change the actual physical appearance too. It's kind of like dynamic AI in a way. You can shape the AI to change based on what you want. That sounds like a very difficult thing to do though, like a very advanced process. I don't know, I feel like they could do it though. I feel like it's definitely something they'd be able to do. But guys, that is it, and I will see you in the next video. Just gotta make my Oh God. Don't scream at me! Come! Happy... Oh, okay. Alright, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do... Yeah, stop! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Just give me my... Oh God! Ah! Oh my...